Hey guys, Dr. Shook here. I hope y'all are doing great today. What I want to share with you guys is this connection between hypothyroidism and poor blood sugar regulation. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that when you have poor thyroid hormone activity or you're hypothyroid, your cells are less responsive to insulin. So insulin's job with blood sugar control is to what? It's to lower and bring the blood sugar down, right? So if you're hypothyroid or you have less sensitivity to the thyroid hormone, then your cells are not as responsive to the insulin, and you do not clear or bring that blood sugar from the bloodstream into the cell as efficiently. So it's slow. It's slow to pull the blood sugar in. So one of the problems that occurs is that you don't have efficient metabolism of glucose. That causes you to have low blood sugar symptoms. That's how the brain interprets it, okay, as low blood sugar symptoms because you're not able to utilize it, which results in this deficit of energy production. And so the brain sees that the same way as like hypoglycemic, low energy output, and it's not, even if your blood sugar's normal or slightly elevated, if you cannot pull it into the cell and use it efficiently because you're not sensitive to insulin, because remember, insulin's job is to sensitize the cell, open up these gates on the outside of the cell so it can pull blood sugar into the cell and use that blood sugar for energy production. That moving of the sugar from the bloodstream into the cell lowers blood sugar, right? It brings it down to a normal level. So one of the things that will happen is you just don't have the sensitivity to the insulin, so it's cleared from the bloodstream and pulled into the cell very inefficiently, and then the cell doesn't metabolize it well, resulting in the brain interpreting that as hypothyroidism. And guess what happens? What happens when the brain detects or does not get the fuel that it needs? It signals the adrenal glands, which sit on top of your kidneys, to produce catecholamines, adrenaline, noradrenaline, which we call epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cortisol. Because why? Because those cortisol in particular stimulates the release of stored blood sugar from the liver and the skeletal muscle, pulling blood sugar into the bloodstream from, out of the tissues where it's stored into the bloodstream, raising blood sugar, right? Because that's how the brain interprets it. What this actually does is this can cause a lot of problems with the hormonal signaling. Blood sugar goes up, and you've got this decreased thyroid hormone sensitivity, so you're not able to clear it well anyway. Insulin gets spiked even more to try to pull it in. You try to pull it in, it's not metabolized well, and you've got this metabolic mess, okay? So one thing I want you to understand is decreased thyroid hormone sensitivity or hypothyroidism results in blood sugar problems, okay? The other thing is did you know that people that have that are hypothyroid, if they're diabetic, they don't need as much insulin? Did you know that? Now, do you know why they typically don't need as much insulin as someone that's not hypothyroid? It's because the cells can't use the insulin as efficiently, so they don't metabolize the insulin as well, so they don't break it down, so they don't need as much because it doesn't get metabolized because they're hypothyroid, because the cells can't clear it. I want you guys to know that blood sugar is a big problem, but you've got to look at this entire thing as, you've got to look at the whole picture. I keep, when I make these videos and I live stream with you guys, the things that I'm trying to teach you are these concepts that the body and everything in the body is connected. And when you start just thinking that all I need is thyroid hormone, the likelihood of that being the case and the one problem is not the reality, because I see people all the time. I mean, I work with people distance consulting, we see people in the office, and I've been doing this for years, and I see people all the time, and I never see one problem. Never. It's always a mix of issues. So what you have to do, and how I see my role, is trying to look at the overall picture, put the pieces of the puzzle together to help you sort out where we can make interventions nutritionally, maybe with supplemental approach. Also, if there's something that needs to go away or be killed or get rid of, or we need to improve or support brain function, so we get, like, for example, better gut activation from the brain through the vagus nerve. If we need whatever we need to do to support improving your systemic function, that's what we have to do to get you feeling better. That's what we have to do to improve the thyroid symptoms. That's what we have to do to improve blood sugar. That's what we have to do to decrease inflammation. That's what we have to do to just improve metabolic function and get your energy levels up, and help you lose weight, help with hair growth, help with skin, help with everything, help with sleep. You have to look at the whole person. If you just keep doing this symptom-based patchwork and trying to throw medications at it, it just doesn't work. You cannot medicate a sick body that has all these metabolic issues back to health. You got to work with the body. And the medicines can sometimes help us to bridge a gap, but you've got to work on the things that are causing you to, the problems that are causing you to be in the state that you're in. Okay, so I just want to share this with you guys because it is, when you start looking at these things together and you start trying to just be, as a clinician, what I try to do is just try to be a better physiologist. I don't really care about being a specialist or doing any one thing well, except being a better physiologist. I care about doing that well. If I can understand the chemistry and I can see and I can look and try to appreciate what's breaking down with the person, then I can say, all right, well, why is that breaking down? And then how can I help to support the improvement of their body's function so that they don't have all these symptoms and get labeled with these diseases that then get a prescription or some kind of other, symptom-based treatment. That's not how the body that's not what people want. That's not what I want to do with people. That's, people want to be healthy naturally. And so we got to look at the body as a whole and try to support the systemic function. Okay, that's what I do. I don't treat anything. People come to me and they're like, well, you treat Hashimoto's, right? You treat Hashimoto's. No, actually I don't treat Hashimoto's. What I do is I support and I investigate the drivers of the processes that are causing you to be autoimmune. And then I look at your overall physiology and see where it's breaking down, and I support improving those systemic processes through diet and nutrition. But I don't treat anything. I'm supporting your body physiologically. And that's how it works. You don't treat the particular problem. That's because there's a lot of other factors. It's not typically like Hashimoto's is not a thyroid problem. It can result in excuse me, it can result in a problem with the thyroid not being able to make enough hormone, but it's an immune system problem. And then you look at the immune system and then it's like, well, maybe it's what causes the immune system problem? Well, maybe it's partially digested food proteins. So then do you say, well, it's a food problem, we're going to treat the food problem? Or maybe it's a chronic infection, or maybe it's a combination of chronic infections and chemical exposures. So how do you treat that? Well, you support detoxification of the body. You use nutritional protocols to eradicate and kill things, or you pull in prescriptive medications, or you change diet, right? I just want you guys to understand there's so much that I want to help you with, but you've got to grasp these concepts, because or else you're going to be stuck in this loop of constantly trying to treat symptoms. Okay, so anyway, I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I really, if you have any questions, let us know. We're here for you. Okay, thanks.